Welcome to the Skelton Report. I'm Mark Nathaniel Skelton. Today we're going to be taking a look at faith and religion and some of its impact on the brain. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for this info and more like it. Okay, so for today we're going to take a look at a pretty cool article from NPR. This is the National Public Radio, and it's an article about prayer and meditation and all that good stuff and how it impacts your brain. So it's titled Neurotheology, This is Your Brain on Religion. I'll definitely put a description or a link in the description below. All right, so as you can see, there's like a 30-minute listen that you can listen to. But I'm just going to kind of walk through the article and see what we can learn from it. I thought it was pretty cool. So what you see here is some brain images, and on the left you have the baseline. That just means when an individual's not doing much, just kind of in the chill state. And over here you have an individual who's in meditation. And so this is from one of the studies, a part of his research, that individuals that were in meditation, you can read more right here, they seem to have more activities in their frontal lobes. So you can see that. These are the area that controls more your executive functions, like attention and concentration, all that good stuff, when compared to the individual it's not. So, I mean, that's just, pique your interest. I think it's pretty interesting. Let's learn a little more. So what this article is saying is, like, for thousands of years, religion has posed some of those unanswerable questions, existential questions, like, what's the meaning of life, and what does it all mean for religious reasons? And so in an effort to address these questions, Dr. Andrew Newberg, all right, this is an American neuroscientist, is pretty well known for his work, has scanned the brains of praying nuns, chanting Sikhs, and meditating Buddhists. Side note, we read a really cool book called Aging with Grace, which covered nuns and dementia, which I think it's definitely worth the read. So check that out if you get the time. But here he studies the relationship. It's just by the wayside. So he studies the relationship between the brain and religious experience, which is a field. It's a $50 word, neurotheology. Theology is just what I learned from seminary, is like study of God and religion and man and humanity. And then neuro is more like brain, cognition. So you just put those together. And he's written a book called Principles of Neurotheology that tries to lay the groundwork for a new kind of scientific and theological dialogue, which I think is very important. That's another reason why I'm doing this video, is because I believe in the idea of this holistic care, where you take care of all aspects of the person, the biology, their psychology, their social life, and their spiritual life, which is often neglected, which I'm reading in some of the research. So this kind of helps fill that gap. So Newberg tells NPR's Neil Conan that neurotheology applies the science of scientific method to spirituality through brain imaging studies. We evaluate what's happening in people's brains when they are in deep spiritual practices like meditation and prayer. Newberg says also, he and his team then compare that with the same brains in a resting state, so those who are praying and meditating versus those resting. This has really given us a remarkable window into what it means for people to be religious or spiritual, or to do these kinds of practices. Dr. Newberg's scans has also shown the ways in which religious practices like meditation can help shape a brain. Newberg describes one study in which he worked with older individuals who were experiencing memory problems. Newberg took scans of their brain, then taught them a mantra-based type of meditation, and asked them to practice that meditation for 12 minutes a day for 8 weeks. Now, at the end of the study in this regimen of 8 weeks, they came back for another scan, and Dr. Newberg found some, watch this, dramatic differences. All right, he says, we found some very significant and profound changes in the brain just at rest, particularly in the areas of the brain that help us focus and our mind and focus our attention. All right. Again, that's that frontal lobe, that front area, all right, where a lot of executive functionings take place. All right. So according to Dr. Newberg, many of the participants related that they were thinking more clearly. So the people that participate in this study, this is what they noticed when they self-reflected upon the experience. They felt they could think clearer and were better able to remember things after 8 weeks of meditation. Remarkably, the new scans and memory tests confirmed their claims. All right, so those are some objective measures that help show that prayer and meditation and those type of practices are positive towards the brain, or can be. They had improvements of about 10 to 15%. This is only after 8 weeks at 12 minutes a day. So you can imagine what happens in people who are deeply religious and spiritual and doing these practices for hours or days and for years. Dr. Newberg emphasizes that while neurotheology won't provide definitive findings about things like the existence of a higher power, it could provide a deeper understanding of what it means for a person to be religious. All right, so also let's end here. So for those individuals who want to go down the path of arguing that all of our religious and spiritual experiences are nothing more than biological phenomena, some of this data does support that kind of conclusion. All right, but the data also does not specifically eliminate the notion that there is religious or spiritual or divine presence in the world. Okay, so I guess what we can take from this, and bring it back in here, that there are a number of studies that demonstrate the benefit, and some of these words are used, like I could say it thesaurus wise, right? Like meditation, prayer, mindfulness, and all that. But the take home is, hey, get your prayer on. There's nothing harmful that can come from it, it seems like. And just maybe this can help encourage you to get more on that regimen. And again, it seems to help out with cognitive flexibility, your attention, and some of those executive functionings in memory. So again, that's what some of the studies are showing. I hope that was a blessing for you as it was for me. And that's all I got. And I'll catch you on the next go around. Be sure to, again, subscribe at Mark in Skelton for this info and more like it. Peace.